Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen and a state of where we are with Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 on the PTU. When's it going to go live? What's happening? Cloud Imperium have declared this week the home stretch with a post. Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 is nearly out the door and on the live servers. As we mentioned earlier this week, in This Week in Star Citizen, we'd like to team up with you for the final push. Over the weekend, we are planning to run some critical stress tests on the PTU starting on Friday. So at time of recording, that's today. We're putting out the call for as many of you as possible to grab your sword, bow, axe, Pico plushie, or whatever else you've got on hand and join us. This will greatly assist with gathering crucial data that will help us tackle any final remaining stability issues before live release, which we're hoping to achieve next week. During this playtest, there isn't any specific testing focus other than to play in the persistent universe on the PTU servers at times listed below. Keep an eye out as you'll likely see many of us gallivanting around too. We plan to kick off with 1 hour of testing on Friday at 2 AM UTC, which will actually be 2 AM UTCs technically on the Saturday, and then do multiple tests throughout the weekend for 1 hour each. So yes, we've got the first test at 2 AM on Saturday the 4th, and then another test at 8 PM UTC on the same day, and then Sunday morning 2 AM UTC, then 8 PM UTC, and then Monday morning 2 AM UTC for the final test. So obviously people generally testing and playing the game out of those sort of testing hours is still going to be effective and useful. It's just they want to stress test and get as many people as they can in for those 1 hour slots throughout the weekend if possible. They go on to say, thank you for all your support and for helping us test this important update. Now, we have had, over the last few days, 3 PTU updates, all of which have silly numbers after them, 8382259, all the way up to 8384444. These patches are almost entirely bug fixes. I'll go through some of the updates and bug fixes here. Players falling through the floor and disappearing in trams and shuttles, and then just like hitting the ground and dying. That's been hopefully solved. Cargo being invisible in multiple ships after being purchased has been fixed. Inconsistencies with combat service beacon missions and progress there has been fixed. In that first patch, they fixed 11 clients and a single server crash as well. In the next patch, they had a load of fixes for AI and NPC standing on benches. That would be great if they actually can solve that permanently. That is a reoccurring bug. Some pirate ships no longer performing circling behaviors was solved. Harvestable deposits being invisible to players or causing collisions, and being unavailable for scanning, mining, or salvage gameplay. That's been solved. The tracks on the Nova Tonk, they have now been able to be animated properly. They sort of didn't animate with the locomotion of the vehicle correctly. The total velocity indicator was offset in gravity wells, apparently, with vehicles. There were problems with AI being knocked unconscious during a mission where you had to kill a load of AI. The number would go down, but you couldn't actually complete the mission until they were killed. They also, in that patch, fixed a additional client crash, which was the print screen crash fix, and a server crash, and fixed a cause of a major server memory leak. In that final patch that we're going to talk about, and then look at the known issues still, they fixed an issue causing cargo to become invisible in multiple ships after being purchased. They do go on to say that this might not be fully resolved, so they do want feedback on that. They have temporarily disabled claim jump missions in this build because they're investigating some additional server stalls that are occurring, but they fixed a server crash and fixed a major cause of low server performance introduced in the previous build. Now, although Cloud Imperium do want to get that 3.18 build live by the end of next week, there are still quite a lot of known issues. Now, Cloud Imperium are focused on just bug fixing, so it's quite possible they will be able to get it out next week, at least get rid of the most egregious and problematic of bugs, which they do need to deal with before going to live. So let's have a look at actually what the known issue list is. The character customizer opens when you relaunch the game or go to sort of return to the main menu. People seem to have the Kleshit inmate worksuit in their inventories, even when they're not supposed to. Markers will randomly disappear after quantum travel with no route set. Players cannot open inventories in vicinity of food vendors. The player character is spawned into the wall of a ship on login, if you log out in the Avenger Titan. Players snap to seats when trying to enter a pilot seat. The Snub Fighter lacks interactions in the Constellation, so you can't use it still. That's been a long-term issue throughout the PTU build. Wallace Klim is missing from the drug lab in Grimhex. Looted ammo clips drop off the player randomly. Missing audio and SFX with quantum travel. Scanning is not showing advanced statistics and details. Elevators and trams are still jittery, unfortunately. There are issues salvaging some ships or parts of ships currently, and basically no material there is salvageable when it should be. Fully loaded C2 Herculeses cause issues around Area 18. When flying near another ship, sometimes you can hit an invisible box or otherwise hit some sort of invisible object, which sort of kicks you in a random direction. High-capacity cargo vessels, when loaded, can cause severe server performance issues and client issues, actually. Players are sometimes spawning incapacitated in Klesha Prison, which is weird. The Reclaimer in the October Rising mission despawns when you get close to it, or disappears, making the mission impossible. There are issues with selling cargo while a vehicle is stored. Large amounts of cargo sold at once will cause the transaction to fail. Stolen cargo does not behave as such and can be sold as legal cargo if the ship with the cargo is stored, and there's lots of weird bugs with that, obviously. Occasionally, you're unable to exit your seat on your ship, which, again, not ideal. Players can fall through elevators. Again, not ideal. The player is unable to call the elevator from hangar interiors at some rest stops. When storing a ship, an ASOP terminal will set the ship status to claim instead of retrieve. Also, as a lot of people have pointed out in the patch notes, it says that looted ammo clips drop off the player. They're magazines, not clips. I keep on getting comments like that in my videos. That's fair. That said, we all know what anyone means. Cloud Imperium have to get accessibility problems solved. So you need to be able to spawn your ship, you need to be able to claim your ship, you need to be able to get out of the seats of your vehicles, you need to not fall through elevators, elevators and trams need to work. We have to have that stuff solved before a live build, especially when it looks likely that they want to run a sort of free fly, potentially, and they're going to be building 3.19 directly on the code base of 3.18, and well, 3.19, that's going to be when we see Fleet Week, and that's one of the biggest events of the year for Star Citizen and Cloud Imperium. They can't really afford to have a terrible event where the game is unplayable, so they do need to get this stuff sorted ASAP. They are planning to release this next week, so by sort of March 10th. Now, it might be that they have to give it another week beyond that if there are still problems, and there are potentially going to be. We don't know where they're going to sort of land with fixing these bugs. But it's probably worth getting involved with the PTU testing over the weekend if you want to help push and get that patch out. They will be able to fix a load more bugs. They'll be able to do some stress testing, and yeah, it should aid the progress of that patch. But what do you think? Are you excited for 3.18 being in the home stretch and potentially releasing next week? Do you think it might be the week after? Have you been playing in the PTU at all, and what are you thinking of the latest build? Or are you just waiting for live before you jump in? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Time for some shilling. The Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is on sale again until the 6th of March. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more. It's 2023. There's no need for a VPN like NordVPN, right? In the modern era. Wrong. What's this? A Silent Hill styled ad? No, due to copyright, it's actually a Quiet Mound ad. But that siren means that someone's got my browsing data and hacked all my sanity away at Starbucks. Oh no, that guy's got a triangle on his head. Ah! I've never had a Silent Hill incident while using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. By God, can you risk not having it? Well, probably, but why take the chance? NordVPN can help you access more content on the internet from more countries in a safer and more private way. It's an essential tool in your arsenal in 2023 against the legally distinct triangle head. Check out the links below for one hell of a deal. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For March, we are giving away an Argo Raft, the mighty little hauler that could. Soon, it should be able to make use of its 32 SCU cargo boxes, but in Alpha 3.18, it's going to have to make you some serious Alpha UEC from cargo hauling. It also comes with a game package and lifetime insurance, all you need to get started in your Star Citizen career. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting the channel. Please consider becoming a YouTube member with the join button under our videos or using the links below Patreon. It really goes the extra mile to support us making daily content for Star Citizen. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe and share it with your space friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.